much. Sometimes you get to the point with someone where you just say, I've had it, I'm fed up, I can't take it anymore. And that's the point that all our guests have picked up the phone, called us here at the Richard Bay Show, and ended up on this panel. People like Heather. Heather, the person you're fed up with is?
My stepmother. I've had it with her, Richard. I want this bitch out of my father's life.
Well, wait, hold on. She still is your stepmother. You don't have to call her a name like that. What has she done?
What has she done? Well, she's completely ruined the relationship with my father and myself.
How long has she been married to your father?
Approximately 8 years.
8 years. Did she do this from the very beginning?
Yes, she did.
How did she ruin it? What has happened with you and your father?
She's just butted into our relationship, completely absorbed all his time. And she thought she was going to lose him. So she had adopted a child, and she realized that wasn't going to work. So she had herself artificially inseminated to keep my father.
And he thinks it's his kid? No.
Oh, no.
No.
I mean,
okay. Well, that's a story for Oprah, isn't it? Boy, gotta be a better story. So why don't you just pick up the phone and say, Dad, why don't you and I get together? Why don't I come over tonight and just sit down and talk with you? Why don't you make the initiative to create the relationship with your father, even if you don't like the woman that he's married to now? Why don't you do that?
I want her out of the picture completely.
But she's the woman your father loves.
Well, I'm not too sure about that.
Why?
I mean, she had told for some reason, I didn't know about my grandmother's death until a month later. She didn't even want me at my grandmother's funeral.
But wait a second, isn't that your father's fault that he didn't call you and tell you that your grandmother died?
Well, I don't think he has no spine, no backbone at all, or otherwise he would have picked up the phone and told me.
Well, what do you think are the chances that you're going to break this woman up with your father after they've been together for 8 years?
Well, from what I've seen, they're selling their house. It's definitely not because they're moving into a larger home. And, well, since he's...
Don't you think that what's more likely is that your father's going to hate you because you've broken up his relationship with the woman that he loves?
I'm not the one that's breaking it up. He's losing it.
But you just said you don't want them to be together.
I mean, I don't want them to have nothing to do with each other, but he's still sleeping with my mother.
So wait a second. Your stepmother's getting artificially inseminated, and your mother's getting naturally inseminated. Does his wife know that he's still having an affair with his ex?
I have no idea, but I think I'm going to tell her today. I'm definitely going to tell her today, because I have a surprise for her.
But you're just going to tell her out of bitterness, you mean? You want to break them up, right?
Yes, I don't want them to have nothing to do with each other anymore.
Hold on. Before I bring her down, though, and you tell me why not, wouldn't it be better for you to say, listen, I love my father. I know that you're with my father. But you cannot deny the fact that he has a child. We have a relationship. Why don't you just let me have this relationship with my father? You have him 24 hours a day. Why can't I just have him a few hours a week? Have you tried to be reasonable and do that?
Yes, I have.
And what does she say?
When I was a child.
When you were a child?
She's too jealous of me, obviously. She doesn't want me to have anything to do with my father.
Okay, well, let's go find out what she says, because she's upstairs there. Her name is Shirley. Okay, no, don't take that off yet. Come here, Shirley. Watch out, there's 12 steps here. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There, now you're on solid ground. Thank you. At least for a few moments, you're on solid ground. You may be on shaky ground in a moment here. Turn around and sit down. Okay. You know you're here to meet somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody from your past.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if you can recognize this voice.
Oh, there's no why. You've always interfered with my father's relationship with me.
Now, hold on for a second. Do you know who that is?
Uh-huh.
You can take your blindfold off. All right, now, wait. She has told us a few things before you came out here. She is actually your stepdaughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
She believes that you're jealous of her and that you want to keep her away from her own father.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
No.
Okay, I've spoken to her and I've said, why don't you try to be reasonable and say, you're married to this man, he is your husband, why don't I just have a few hours a week or a month with him? Would that bother you if she did?
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't. Okay.
She's got a stepbrother she's never met.
Well, did you ever know that I always send you and my stepbrothers gifts on every Christmas?
If you did, your father has not gave them to us.
I would like to know how you proclaim to be a mother when you could not even push a relationship between me and my father.
Heather, did you or did you not?
Hold on, please. Hold on, please, because it's important for them
I'd like to hear you call me a bitch and a slut now. I'm not 9 years old anymore.
All right,
No, you're not.
Hold on. You are not 9 years old anymore, but you're holding on to something that happened when you were a child. Do you know what she's referring to?
Probably when her and I didn't get along when she was younger.
You still don't get along, you know that, right?
I can't tell you the last time I spoke to her.
You don't remember? It's been years?
To have a conversation? Sure, years.
Okay, well, would this be a good time maybe then to start to have a conversation? What are
Fine.
What are your feelings towards her now?
I don't have any feelings. I don't know her as a woman. I know her as a child, when she was dysfunctional as a child.
Dysfunctional? I wonder why, because maybe you were sleeping with my mother's husband. That's why.
Well, maybe, but wait.
Come on,
But I hate to turn this around on you, but maybe that's the problem. Maybe you're upset because your father fell in love with a woman who wasn't your mother.
I have no qualms about that. I would have loved to have a relationship with her.
We had one.
We did? When? Oh, well, guess what? Do you know where your husband is right now? Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mother's house, sleeping with her right now, Shirley.
Well, why don't you call the firehouse? Call the
Maybe
firehouse.
you should call the firehouse.
Sure, I'll be glad to call him.
The firehouse? Why would they be at the firehouse?
He's in the fire department.
Oh, I thought they were having a hot romance in the firehouse. I'll tell you, one of the things that's pretty apparent here is that, Heather, you hold a lot of antagonism towards her. And that if you're going to have a relationship, it's always better to do something positive than to do something negative, than to start from saying, I'm going to break them up. Because first of all, you don't know if you can break them up. She would like you to break up with her father.
Hasn't happened for 11 years.
Oh, it's been 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 8 years of marriage and I guess 3 years before that.
Right.
Wouldn't you prefer to have a relationship with your stepdaughter?
Would be fine. I have a lot of friends that have stepchildren.
Okay, and you have no antagonism towards her?
No, I feel sorry for her. I really do.
And why is that? Because you broke up my mother and father's marriage? Is that why?
Their parents were separated, Heather.
Yeah, and you were having sex with my father when my mother was pregnant with me. It
But
came
hold on, Heather.
Mother, it came out of his mouth, Shirley. It came out of his mouth. It came out of his mouth.
Oh, whatever.
And you know what? He resents having those children. He doesn't want those children no more than he wants you. You're just another little, a cliche to his life. You know, you're just another little part of his life. Yeah, Shirley. I mean, you don't know half of what your husband
I
does.
have my kids and raise them, not like you.
Well, you know what? Maybe if you and I came into my father's relationship and broke our relationship up, maybe I could have a healthy relationship with my father.
Well, if your father loved you so much, he'd be with you right now, wouldn't he?
Maybe if you wouldn't... well, if he loved you so much, Shirley, he could have been with you.
But hold on. Isn't it, Heather, isn't it hypocritical of you to blame her for sleeping with your father when he was married to your mother, and at the same time you say to her, my mother's sleeping with him right now?
You know what? Out of love, they grew up together and they had a child, his flesh and blood, by the way, together. So of course they still love each other. If she would not have, she didn't even give them a chance to reconciliate their marriage.
Okay, but I would like to end this segment by saying this. Heather, it's obvious that this is eating you up. It's obvious that...
I had to get this out for a long time.
I know, but you know what? It's much better if you don't let it eat you up and try to do something positive with your stepmother, because they have been together for 11 years.